Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Fight for Our Freedom Radio, and I'm your host, Badbaby. And tonight we have with us Brother Peter Eugene, and we will be talking about the benefits of medical marijuana, which he calls cannabis, and we're also going to talk about the vaccine. Okay, well, somebody was beeping in. I think it's Peter. I think he's having a problem calling in. I left him a message and asked him where he is, and I know that was him beeping in. So he must be being blocked from getting into the room. And if my cutie patootie is logged into the chat room, I would appreciate it if you called in so that you can talk while I try to get a hold of Peter. I know he's probably freaking out right now, everybody. So, anyways, I need to get somebody to call in to talk so there's not dead air. And if Peter tries to beep in again, I will answer it, though. I know he was trying to beep in while I was playing the bumper song. But we will get him in here, folks. The harassment has been horrendous, let me tell you. My dog has been so sick from what they've been doing to us. He's been vomiting all week, and I'm just having a lot of problems here with the harassment, but I figured that it was going to amp up because I'm working with Steve Olson, and I'm doing shows that he's putting up on his webpage, and I'm working with him on we're setting up some conferences that we're going to have guest speakers, and people will be able to buy tickets and come in and see us live. And so we're working on that, and we're really making the powers that be very angry at us. So, it was funny because I just had a guest call me just before the show started, and I answered the phone, and instead of it connecting me to him, I was hearing a phone ring like when you call a fax machine. It was a real odd ring. It was going da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da, and I thought, what the heck is that? So somewhere their wiretap or whatever the heck they're doing is going a little screwy-looey. So anyways, I guess I'm not going to have somebody call in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have dead air for a couple of minutes, you guys. If someone does come in the chat or a new guest comes in, let them know that I'm trying to get the guest in. I will call Peter and three-way him in. Just hang in there. Oops. Okay. I'm going to have to hang up from both calls because I have to look his phone number up. It's in my phone. So I will be back in a minute, folks. Hang in there. Okay, Peter, are you still with us?
I am still with you.
Okay. I kind of figured. Okay, folks, didn't I just tell you that we were being harassed terribly? Peter has been trying to call in, and they wouldn't let him in the window. What was it saying, Peter?
It's saying, well, let's block all the real truthers on the planet so we can't share the love on the planet.
Were you getting some type of recording saying there was no call scheduled at this time or something?
Sort of like that, but basically saying that I have the wrong code number, even though I pulled it right off the site.
So that, what did I just got done telling everybody that, that we were being harassed and that the harassment has amped up. So that's not a surprise to me. I should have just three-wayed you in before the call started, but we will have the jump on them next time. Is my cutie patootie with us?
I am here, my dearest.
Okay. I asked you to call in earlier. Did you hear me?
I didn't because I jumped on a little late, and I saw that. I was like, oh, let me call in right now. I'm sorry, hon.
That's okay. No problem. I didn't know whether you were in the window or not because, I knew Peter was having a problem calling in because he was beeping me while I was playing the bumper music, and I couldn't answer it. So, okay, we are here, people. And thank you so much, Peter, for coming out and sharing with us. And just for those that don't know anything about you, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what you're all about?
Very good. I'm all about mind, body, spirit, healing the human element. Ex-Navy doc for 10 years. My function in life is to bring us all across the big bridge, going home, and getting a grounding point. I'm working with Brother Boris from the other side of the planet. He's about 9 hours south of me. I got to go and finish up some paperwork on the planet to come back home alive, to cut the nasty snake's head off from the crown on down, and share with people how they get free and unencumbered from this slave plantation known as planet Earth.
Well, we did an interview with you the other day, me and Steve did, and we were talking about the cannabis paste and all the benefits of it, and we have already covered the cannabis paste on my show, so what I'd like to cover a little bit tonight is about the vaccines. Now, I know when you were a doctor in the Navy, you had to inject all these veterans with these vaccines. Can you tell us a little bit, Peter, about how it affected these men?
Well, thimerosal, mercury, and formaldehyde are false constructs that change up the electromagnetic flow of the body, create disease states for future reference for the big pharma to get new customers in the game. It's all poison for profit. I posted some really good stuff today on the vaccine scam, how the whore from the UK, who's married to the head chancellor over there, who's putting everybody in the mix and saying they need to get the shots. And then we got Australia. They're going to charge people fines, the actual financial fines for not poisoning their children on the freaking planet. I mean, you can't make this crap up.
I have a friend in Tennessee that she just went for her checkup, and they wanted to give her the flu shot and the pneumonia shot, and she refused it. So the doctor put in her chart that she, and also they keep telling her she's depressed and she needs to be on antidepressants. And she keeps telling them, I'm not depressed. I don't want your antidepressants. And he wrote in her chart that she is non-compliant.
Isn't that nice? All these scumbags in white coats can kiss my rosy red ass. It's actually brown, by the way. So I do tan a little bit here in Florida. The whole point is this. It's called forced compliance at the end of a gun without the gun being pointed at your head. That's exactly what's going on with the vaccines. We went from one state on forced compliance, the state of California. I showed all the numbers to the planet on who got paid, what, where, when, and how, and they're all paid for, Scumbags Are Us Club. And now we're in 35 states on forced compliance. The next level they plan on taking the vaccines up to is the employers forcing it upon their workforce under Rule 1313, trying to be passed through Congress as we speak right now.
Well, you should have the right to tell your doctor, no, I don't want those poisonous vaccines. And the fact that he's labeling her non-compliant, what is he trying to do? Say that something's wrong with her mentally?
And let me tell your audience, hey folks, did you know that when your children go into the pediatrician, he's got to quote it to me. If he's not above the 65% margin rate, he doesn't get his $400 fucking bonus. It's all about the goddamn money. People need to smarten up and straighten up because this shit's getting really weird.
Yeah, it is. I don't mean to be a downer on you, but I got an email from TalkShoe, and we're not allowed to swear on here anymore.
Oh, I'm not swearing, sweetie. That's just a four-letter adjective. I guess they didn't get the fucking memo.
Well, if they don't like my show and there's anything that breaks the rules, they'll take my shows down. So
yeah, I'm gonna take their shows down. I'm gonna punch them in the fucking mouth. I'm gonna go talk some shit to them. I'm gonna go meet up with the sorry ass son of a bitch who runs face fuck, and I'm gonna shove it up his ass.
No, this is on TalkShoe, my shows.
Yeah.
It's not Facebook. It's TalkShoe. They sent me an email telling me that they're complying with Google and all the other people that are running this crap. And if there's new rules for TalkShoe now, so they're not allowing swearing, they're not allowing certain topics. If I break the rules, they'll stop allowing me to have shows.
Hey, Mary Beth. You know what? The rules are made to be broken, and I'm the master of breaking the rules. For
I understand that, Peter, but you're putting my recordings in jeopardy. They'll take down all of my past shows, dear.
All right, I won't cuss no more. But when I did my blog talk shows in the spirit of things, if my cussing bothered you, turn the damn channel.
Well, don't bother me, but I'm just asking you to please control it because they will just take me off the air.
You gotta love the dictates. I mean, is this crazy crap or what? I mean, see what they've done, Mary Beth, Badbaby. They put you in a box, and you're actually living in the box.
I know.
I don't live in a dick.
I know. I understand that. That's why this is another reason why I'm transitioning in with Steve Olson. Because the shows that we do over there, we don't have to follow the rules. We can say whatever we want, and it goes up on his webpage. And, that's one of the reasons why he's interacting with me with these topics because, and he says this when he posted his last YouTube video, that there are a lot of shows that we're doing that are on his webpage that won't fly. I mean, even here now anymore. There's shows that we're going to cover that won't fly on TalkShoe and they won't fly on YouTube. But we're still going to go out there and put the word out, So, and also for everybody that's in the window, tonight, I want you to know that Steve and I and his webmaster is setting up conference. There's 2 conferences that are going to be coming up. And people will be able to buy tickets to come into these conferences. They're going to be guest speakers. I spoke to Gil Bazard. I spoke to Robert Evans. I spoke to Kevin Annette. And possibly they are going to be coming for guest speakers at this conference. I am going to be a guest speaker at the conferences. So, it's going to be pretty exciting what we got, in the works and coming up. Now, Robert, you got anything that you want 2 cents you want to rattle in on here?
Oh, I could add about $1 worth if you don't mind.
Okay, go for it.
My brother, I know exactly where you're coming from. I feel your heart. The censorship has gone beyond the control of any sensible company that would conduct themselves with any morality. So that's all out the window. We've got a communistic network system of convergence taking place right now with all the mainstream media basically barreling down our throats to bring us into the socialistic, communist, fascist system of control. And if you ask me, I think it's already here. They just haven't grabbed the last bit of it by taking our president down. He's been trying very, very hard to reverse the process. Again, I think it's going to come down to a revolutionary system, and I'm talking about a very bloody revolutionary transition. I'm sorry I have to say that, but that's the way I see it. Now, I know you spent a lot of time in medical school, and it breaks my heart to know that so many doctors, because you're a very obviously awake and aware person, that so many doctors have been captured by this control construct.
One phonic comes on.
I'm sorry, I missed that. What'd you say?
Peter, go ahead. What did you say? Peter.
Yes.
Are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still with you. I went down a different plane. I was traveling with Dreamweaver for a minute.
Oh, I love that song, by the way. But yeah, I'm sorry. I missed what you said, Peter.
Yeah, well, we're flying to a different astral plane. They don't expect us to become conscious on this planet. They want us unconscious. That's the whole point of what I share on the medical alternatives, the protocols to heal the machine, like Celtic-grade salt, sodium bicarbonate, food-grade cannabis, food-grade hydrogen peroxide, making the body oxygen-rich. I got cancer patients all over the planet who are getting well at $0.015 a day, and it's really pissing off Big Pharma.
I could imagine. And Peter, can you expand on that, especially talking about the THC in cannabis, because that's the real cure agent of cannabis?
Right. It's the nuclear airstrike on the cancer cells. THC has a capacity. I've got the 121 National Institute of Health reports over on my page, at my Cannabis Network page. I'll repost it over to Badbaby's page so she can share it far and wide after the show. But, yeah, the THC has, what it does is it changes up the molecular structure of the body, restructures the endocannabinoid system, which everybody has since birth, from the mollusk on up. We all have an endocannabinoid system. We need to reactivate it. So what it does is it restructures the DNA, restructures new neuron pathways in the brain. And I tell people to take their paste dose with a little coconut oil. It's 10 times better than the oil. You've got these folks out there making the oil, and they're charging $3,000 for a 90-day set of doses. That's
right.
Bull crap. They can make the paste for 90% less. I have a 30-minute video that I post across the planet to show people how to become self-sufficient. Go score you a half an ounce of some weed, get a 4-ounce mason jar, grind your shit up in a coffee grinder, put 2 ounces of oil, stir it in real good, put the top on, put it in the pot with water, and set the temperature for 175 degrees, and now your medicine is emulsifying. It's not cooking off. It's not like what they do with the oil. See, I've done the oil process. I know well about it. 3 years ago, I had the magical butter machine. I know how to make ethanol from scratch. I know how to make the tincture from scratch, the butter, all these different protocols. Then I ran into this guy named Brad out of Colorado, and he talked about the paste. So let's talk about the paste for a second. First of all, it's food grade. When you cook it at a low, slow temperature at 175 degrees for 11 hours, it actually emulsifies, decarboxylates, and brings forth all the medical elements in that plant matter, whether it be CBDs, CBGs, CBNs, THC, whatever's in that plant matter comes forward. And it creates a super cellular structure for the body to reactivate the endocannabinoid system and restructure the new neuron pathways in the brain, where you become actually conscious. If you've got fibromyalgia, dementia, Alzheimer's, it fixes that crap too. I mean,
Peter, can I ask?
Wonder. Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask you another question, because I know that there's a lot of hoaxers going on around doing the same thing, using benzene to produce the so-called same cure-all, product. But benzene is a very toxic product created from oil, which benzene is basically gasoline, folks. Can you enlighten the audience about this?
Sure, I'll be glad to. Matter of fact, I did a show with Sister Barbara. If anybody's listening, I want you to pull up this website. It's with Sister Barbara. I met up with her in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. She's the hemp textiles queen. She spent 21 years in China teaching them about hemp textiles. And by the way, any product that's in the big box stores has got benzene in it, your clothing line. So the minute you wash it the first time, you're locking in the benzene, so you're wearing your cancer now. Nobody knows this crap.
Well, I was well aware of it, Peter, and that's why I asked you that question, because, again, it's the big pharma, big oil intruding in on, a little bit of sanctuary and sanity of trying to, basically extract ourselves out of their system, but they keep forcing it upon us, and it's disgusting, brother.
Well, I'll find Barbara's link. I'll post it over to Badbaby after the end of the show, so you can go to that link. Because she knows how to make silks from scratch, socks, your pants, your clothes. She's been doing this for like 41 years. She's a master of her own domain. It's ironic. I was just traveling through Glenwood Springs back about 3 years ago, and my friend told me, hey, we got this hemp textiles lady right here in town in Glenwood Springs. Well, I said, well, I got to catch the train in 3 hours. She goes, well, you got 3 hours. She goes, you need to go meet her. And it was ironic because I was just getting started with my CCN shows, Conscious Consumer Network, and I did about 140 shows over at their house because I talk about everything on the planet. I don't just talk about the cannabis issue. I talk about everything, big pharma, the medical industrial complex. I was a Navy doctor. So they lied to me for 10 years, and then I said, you know what? I'm gone. I can't do this anymore. See, because I had a consciousness shift. I woke up. I found my heart. When you find your heart, you find the love. When you find the love, you get to change a planet. And that's the whole point of us standing here on this planet. We're not here by mistake. I volunteered to come in to do this game, even though the word Navy stands for never again volunteer yourself. I get 3 tours in the U.S. Navy. Go figure.
Yeah, go figure.
I guess
wow.
I was too stupid to get it on the first 2 times. I'm a slow dog sometimes.
Yeah, well, it sometimes takes all of us once or 2 tries to get it right, doesn't it?
Baby, you can do it. Take your time. Do it right. We can do it, baby. Do it tonight. Yeah, that's from the 70s. Hey, folks, I'm a musical. I was a magician. I was a percussionist for 20 years and a lead vocalist for about 20 different rock bands.
Amazing. It seems like all the musicians that I know are awake and aware to everything that's going on. Anybody who has a creative bone in their body, whether sculpting, drawing, playing an instrument, it seems like there's a massive awareness going on with everybody, Peter. But it seems like the criminal element kind of knew that and somehow has captured most of humanity into their system. But yet the fact is everybody is waking up slowly. But it seems like most of the artists, the real artists, were the first ones to wake up to all this and say, hey, we're all shouting and screaming at the top of our lungs, trying to shake somebody awake, going, wake up, wake up.
Don't you kind of think that might be because our brains are a little bit different? Nobody's saying nothing.
Are you asking me that, or are you asking Peter that?
Well, either one of you. Don't you think that one of the reasons why we are more advanced to what's going on this planet and we're awake because our brains are a little bit, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but when I was setting dies, I had to take an IQ test, and my IQ was very high. And all throughout my life, I could teach myself anything. And the other thing, I never liked it at school. I always felt like it was boring to me, and it was like I was a round peg trying to fit in a square hole.
Always felt that way. Exactly how I went through school. I had very low grades, but yet my IQ, I scored like 180 or 190, very, very high. So, and I think that's, in my personal opinion, I think that's the reality for everybody who has this incredible gift for being an awakened human being.
Look at how smart you are, Peter. I know there's a lot of things besides making the cannabis paste. And the ability to go to school and become a doctor, that takes a lot of work, But I commend you, brother, for standing up against these criminals that are poisoning society and helping people that are suffering, people that contact you and suffer with cancer, and people that have contacted you where their children have been poisoned with vaccines. And why don't you tell us a few stories of people that you have helped.
Well, I'm going to say a ballsy statement on the front end of this conversation. I have the capacity, because I know who I am. I understand the medical efficacies of this plant, and I can cure every fucking cancer. Excuse me, I wasn't supposed to say that. Bleep that out. I can cure every cancer on the damn planet. I can cure lung cancer in 4 weeks if people will pay attention. But the problem is, it's so damn simple, they just don't get it. Because they're saying it can't be that simple. It can't just cost $1.50 per dose. It's got to be expensive. It's got to be confusing. It's got to be complex. It's all crap. The solutions are always simple, just like the cannabis paste. In 1937, I told you last week, they pulled it off the pharmacopoeia in 1942 because it was getting too much gravitational pull with the alternative medicine stream. And then the Rockefellers came in, marginalized this plant. In 1937, they created a law against the word marijuana, which is a legal term, to friggin' shove everybody in this protocol called stupidity for the marijuana. And your Mexican brothers are going to rape your white women and all this other crap they were pushing, reefer madness, all this bull crap. What a scam. See, you got to love the programming, and that's all it is. So people that are stuck on stupid will still embrace white coat medicine. I was a white coat for 10 years. So you know what? I'm coming out of the closet. I came out of the closet 5 years ago, and I told people the truth. So if you want to go to your dumbass doctor and get poisoned to death, that's your choice. It's called free will. Everybody has free will, and if they continue to do the same shit that doesn't work, a 97% failure rate on the cancer chemo protocols, that's called genocide, by the way, then they have the right to go kill themselves and embrace the tree of lies.
You know, Peter, I got a thing in the mail today from, I'm not going to say what insurance company, it's a health insurance company, and it said, we have evaluated your health. How can they evaluate my health? I don't go see anybody, right? and it was like a little card suggesting, and what they were suggesting for me, that I would go and talk to my doctor about getting the flu shot, getting the
full of mercury, flu shot full of mercury, yes.
Yeah. It said,
there you go.
We have evaluated your health, and we suggest on your next doctor visit that you talk to him about getting the flu shot, the pneumonia shot, and get your blood work up to date.
I'm going to get their blood work up to date when I draw all 6 pints and they're fucking dead. Yeah, because the body only holds 6 pints.
Wait a minute. How can they evaluate my health when I don't go to the doctor?
I know. Isn't that maniacal? I mean,
are they stuck on stupid? Okay, I think I'll just be a zombie and go see one because you think I'm good. And
let me make a quick point. Peter's absolutely right. This controlled, diabolical system of murder, because that's what it is. They want you to come in because you have this cancer or that cancer. They want to put you in chemo, which is nothing but irradiation of your entire immune system, okay? And then what they're going to do as they bring you into the system and irradiate your whole body and drain your bank account through your personal bank account or through your insurance company, they will suck they'll suck the lifeblood out of you as they're killing you, draining every last dollar out of your insurance and account system till you have nothing left, and then they leave you to die. Bottom line, period. It's over.
And I'm gonna prove a point right now. I just talked to a brother over in Utah. They life flighted his daughter to the top of the building in a helo. They had armed guards. He'd been fighting the system, fighting the game. And you know what these scumbags did? This is the shit that makes me fucking crazy. I'm sorry. That wasn't a swear, by the way. That was just an adjective. Tell that to the censors. Okay. Anyways, the point is this. Stay with me. They cut her stem to stern. She's 4 years old. They pulled out of a freaking lung. Now they got her on the chemo protocol. I had her on there's a sister out in California with Wham. Her name is Barbara Corral. She's Women Aligned with Medical Marijuana. She's been growing all these great strains. I can't get her to get her head out of her ass to friggin' do the paste. Because the paste is 90% cheaper than the oil, and she continues to do the oil and charge $3,000 for 90 days of doses. I say that's bullshit. That pound that you washed off to get a lousy 90 doses could be converted to 32 friggin' 90-dose jars. That's 32 medicine jars full of cannabis paste, which is food grade, and the body accepts to heal the machine for a fraction of the cost of making the oil. The oil is not the damn way. Everybody's stuck on this freaking oil. I love Rick Simpson. I know who he is. He started the party. But at the same time, he needs to get his head out of his ass and realize the paste that's been around for 10,000 years since the Egyptians is the food for the body. Hippocrates said, let food be thy own medicine, and all the people forgot that. And that's the point. See, their memories are fractured because their DNA is compromised when they're born into this world. When they come through that vessel and they put those 2 little black footprints on a piece of white paper, they never landed on soft ground. They're still in the sea of illusion. And that's the problem, because the DNA has been compromised and the body can't get right with the freaking mind or the heart. And that's the whole point of this equation. If you don't know who you are, you don't know where your heart lives, you can't transverse to the next level of this planet. And, I don't know a lot, but I'm
you know plenty, by the way. That's a silly statement to make, because you know plenty. Because when you open that door up, it leads to a lot of other doors. Like, why are the control constructs put in position to, destroy our lives, but to, enhance theirs or keep themselves in a position of power? It's very simple, Steve. Excuse me, Peter. It's very simple. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to mispronounce that. But it's very simple, isn't it? They want to keep themselves in power and control in this control construct that they created in order to rule over us. It all equates down to the same thing. Why? I mean, I'm sure you're well aware of the Georgia Guidestones, right? They're so-called Ten Commandments.
Yeah, I know.
Don't let humanity. The very first commandment: don't let humanity get over 500 million people. Well, why? Because they want to have complete control rule over the masses that they want to control. It always comes down to the same thing. And I think more and more people, not just in the United States, but worldwide, are figuring this out, brother.
Well, you know what's nice? See, I go in the love vibration. I'm going to blow up their freaking house with them in it, in the love vibration. I'm not going to war. I'm not angry. I'm not pissed off. I mean, it may sound a little different. I'm passionate. I have a heart. I have a soul. I'm going to wreck your fucking playhouse because you've been screwing with mine for way too long.
You mean frickin' playhouse. Frickin' playhouse.
Oh, yeah, my freaking playhouse. I'm sorry. Mary Beth, you'll have to edit this damn thing.
I can't edit these shows, dear. Not on here. I can't edit this. So
I got Maury looking over him. He's laughing his ass off. He's saying, "There goes Peter. He's on a rant. Let him loose. Just cut him loose."
Just let's hope that it flies. I don't know. All I know is that when I got that email, I was like, "Oh wow." Now they're going to start laying the Facebook and Google rules down here. I mean,
Mary Beth.
They just sold TalkShoe, so you know who bought it? The Alphabet Soup.
Hey, Mary Beth, you know what would have been my response to the son of a bitch that sending me an email like that?
Well, I mean, I can't refute it because I'm using their service and I don't pay. So,
I tell them now, how about a nice big cup of shut the bleep up?
Well, the thing is, honey, I have seen somebody else get into it with them, and they took all of his past episodes down. So they stopped him from doing shows. So, that's what they'll do to me. I'm just saying. I don't say I agree with it. I'm just saying they have the ability.
Where do we draw the line in the sand? They excuse my French, they screwed me on my page on the International Cannabis Patients Wall. They shoved it down. They took it down 7 months ago. It was getting gravitational pull because I was sharing solutions.
I understand that. But you know what? I mean, I got people out here. You go in and you look at my page. I've got almost 200 people that follow me. I have had up to 1,800 people in my window at one time. I got people out here that look for these shows, so I have to worry about my listening audience.
Very good. And they're all politically correct constructs, and they believe that a four-letter friggin' adjective is going to describe the rest of the planet. I mean, really? I mean, they need to get their minds right.
Peter, you did it right, man. Peter, you did it right. Friggin'. That's all you got to do. Just replace the adjective with friggin', and you're good to go, man.
There you go.
I'm not trying to come down on you, sweetie. I know. I feel your pain. Believe me.
Look, Mary, we have all been boxed in, and this is the detriment we feel is for human beings, the ones who are awake and aware. We've been boxed in. And we feel like rats in a cage, and we feel like rats in a cage, and we got nowhere to go.
It feels like a pinball thing over here as much as they, what they do to me.
Exactly.
I mean, I can't even put a plate on my motorcycle this year because of what they did to me last year. I wasted my time putting a plate and insurance on my motorcycle because I had nothing but harassment. People were trying to run me down, ride my tail. I would go 80 miles an hour, and they'd be right on me. And so I did not plate my motorcycle this year. Why should I when I can't go out there without worrying about someone trying to kill me?
Yeah, they're monsters, Mary. They're monsters. They're these machine-created monsters by the system of, indoctrination. They don't know any better. They have no clue of really who they are. They don't know even what it means to be human, like Peter's been talking about. And they're just being churned out in the machine.
What does that tell you? They're trying to steal my joy.
Sure, of course. They stole all my joy.
And that's all right. Badbaby, pay attention. What's coming down in July is going to rock their freaking world, okay? See, I'm aligned with the best and the brightest on the planet. I'm going to Largo, Florida, probably in the next couple weeks, getting with Brother Boris. I have 6 documents that will shove it up their ass in a whole different way and shut down the whole court system, the fraudulent game. I have a surety bond document that will shut the case down because under the IRS code, 27 CFR 1.171.2 or 171.1, it says that you can pull your energy, your surety bond from the case. So any further inclinations for them to steal from the case becomes them stealing from the basket from the Treasury, and that's a federal crime. And that will probably invoke a couple audits across the planet with, like, Pahrump County. I've already noticed the comptroller. I've already noticed the clerk of the court. And I've already noticed CID, that's the Criminal Investigation Division of the IRS in Cincinnati. So if they really want to screw with me on this case that's really dead is my eyes, and they think I'm coming back on the 28th of June, they can kiss my rosy brown ass. I'm done. And this case has already been put to bed because there's no more eggs to steal from the basket. If they choose to tap into that surety bond that I've already put to bed and pulled myself out of the fire from, they're stealing from the Treasury. That's a criminal offense. I hope these scumbags in Pahrump want to hang their hat on their lies and go step into my arena and go steal some more eggs from my fucking chicken basket, because they're all going to find themselves a new way back home. There's going to be in orange damn jumpsuits. And I'm telling you, I know what I know. I'm not from this freaking planet. I just opened the portal to have them all drafted for performance in a whole new way. If you don't understand the word drafting for performance, that makes them accountable for stealing and theft of deception from an account that's already closed. I closed the account when I went to court 2 weeks ago. I shoved it right up their backside, and I told the judge, I said, apparently you didn't see the documents that I filed into the case on the surety bond. Your happy ass is on the bubble. If you want to steal the eggs out of my basket further, you're in the deep end of the pool, and you'll be answering up to a power much greater than yourself, Judge.
Okay, Peter, let's get back on topic about the paste. Why don't you go over the list of things that the paste will actually help with people? What things does it cure?
I never mentioned cures. There are no cures.
What things does it help heal?
All right. The cannabis helps with cancer, fibromyalgia, dementia, Alzheimer's, a multitude of other diseases, drug addiction, opioid addiction. It will actually reduce your downtime so that you're not going through withdrawal if you use the cannabis paste. And Jesus Christ, you can't make this crap up. The son of a bitches from the CDC want to classify kratom, Kratom, which is an alternative adjunct, to wean people off all opioids so they don't go through withdrawal. But cannabis does the same thing as kratom. Is it any wonder that it's classified as a Schedule 1 with no medical efficacy?
Well, I mean, it's no wonder why they're targeting you, because you're stepping on Big Pharma and you're stepping on the medical profession. And, I mean, like you said, they got a quota to make with their prescription pad. And when people can have an alternative, that just doesn't fly with them.
Yeah, well, I got a quota to blow up their fucking planets. And you know what? I'm so sick and tired of this scam that's been perpetrated on the American masses. If you think Big Pharma's here to help you, you lost your way. If you embrace that false ideology, they will burn you, churn you, cut you, and screw you till your insurance policy runs out. And they did it to my buddy Greg, to his sister. They sent her home to die, and I put her on a protocol with a nebulizer, and 2 weeks later she was back to normal again. Isn't that ironic? And they said, oh, but she went back into and embraced the white coat medicine. Oh, we think we see a spot, but we're not sure. A spot. I mean, really? This is a scam. The fear porn they put in people's head to get them to go and keep consenting over. And she went into this medical protocol with a new medication that's not approved, and she became the guinea pig lab rat. And it's ironic because my brother Greg went to visit her in the hospital and found her in rigor mortis in a goddamn wheelchair.
Jesus.
You know, it's interesting because my neighbor that used to live across from me on the main road here, they told her the same thing, that they found a spot in the base of her spine where your spinal cord comes to your brain. So they said, we're going to send you to a specialist in downtown Detroit. And she and I said, are you really going to let them do this to you? Because she told me what they were going to do before they did it. What they did is they wanted to take a biopsy, and they said the only way they could get to it was to go through the top of her head and through her brain to get a sample of it. Well,
what?
Yeah, this is what they did to this woman, and she was a waitress, and her husband was a truck driver, and they both needed their jobs to make their house payment. Both of them had to work to make the house payment they had over there. Well, they went and did, and I told her, I said, I wouldn't let them do that to you. I told her not to do it, and she said, oh, I researched the doctor. They're the best, and I'm going all the way down to Detroit, and I'm not concerned because this guy knows what he's doing. Well, when they did this to her, she had a stroke.
Jesus.
Yep.
She had a stroke. So when she came home, and then they put her on steroids.
Oh, there you go. Steroids that kill the liver. There we go.
Right.
Yep.
Peter, I have a question for you.
This poor woman could never work again. She ended up gaining a lot of weight from the steroids. She just went down. And because she didn't have her income to help with the house payment, they lost their home. They're gone now. They had to move away.
All right. Our brother wants to talk. Brother, share what you got.
Peter, I just had a question for you. Do you have a protocol for emphysema?
Yeah, I do. Send me an email. IAMME. I am me. Hold on.
Right. I'm going to do this right now while I'm with you. IAMME.
IAMMME. There's two M's in the mix. It's lowercase. I am me. IAMME at openmailbox.org.
Okay, so it's IAMME at
openmailbox.org.
Open mailbox.
Make sure you put a dot between IAMME at openmailbox.org. O-R-G.
Hold on. I want to make sure I got this. Open mail. Open mail. Mailbox. Got it. BOX. At O-R-G.
Yeah, openmailbox.org.
Okay, guys. Let me finish this story real quick. This woman that they went through her brain and caused her to have a stroke, guess what? She didn't have cancer.
Yeah, no shit. They lied. See, welcome to the protocols of fear porn.
Yep. So they didn't need to do any of that to her. It was nothing there. There was nothing there. And now she's crippled.
Well, we can fix her. See, I have skills. I'm the best doctor on the planet because I actually paid attention in class. I didn't buy the bullshit they fed me.
I have no idea where she went, Peter. When they lost their home, they moved away. I haven't seen them for years. But, you know, it just broke my heart that they did that to her. And while they were losing their home, you know, no one was there to take care of her during the day. And I had gone over to visit her a few times, and she told me, she said, I almost called you the other day. I fell on the floor, and I was laying here for hours, and I didn't know what to do. And I thought, well, I told her, I said, well, my God, you should have called me. I would have came over and helped you. And she said, well, I don't want to bother people. But, I mean, that's how crippled up they did to her, you know. Beautiful girl. She was such a sweet person, and they totally destroyed that family. They destroyed them. Not to mention they drained her insurance card, you know.
Yeah, the whole point is this. People got to change their paradigm. They got to quit giving their power over these assholes in white coats, and that's what they are. I was a white coat myself, and I was one of those. But you know what? I knew it didn't fit, and I paid attention. I got out of the sea of illusion, and here I am on the planet today, sharing the real truth on the planet to heal every medical malady on the planet. I mean, this is not about me. This is about us. There's no ego here. I drop my ego at the front door. I'm not smart. I'm just intelligent. I actually can deduce information, break it down, and see what fits. And when I met with Brother Brad 3 years ago on the pace, because we had washed a pound of fucking weed, excuse my French, we washed a pound of weed, and then we were going to throw the weed out. And then I found out about the pace, and I went and dried the weed out, and I converted it to 32 jars of medicine. See, the oil, it costs a pile of money because they can only produce one round of protocols, 90-day doses, and it costs $3,000. But you can get the jar of paste for 90 days. It's for it's less than 90% of the cost of oil, and it has better efficacy than the damn oil, and it's $160 for a jar of 90 doses. I think that's a mathematical equation that everybody can afford. See, and I don't give a crap about the money. It's all about donations. They can donate. If I have no value, then don't donate. It's that simple. But if you want to go for the Poisons for Profit Club, they'll be glad to tap into your insurance contract and make a pile of money off of slash, cut, and burn techniques that will kill you guaranteed. 97% failure rate in the cancer protocols on the planet. I mean, I did a show with Ty Bollinger back about 2.5 years ago, and Ty was telling me what the doctors were saying behind closed doors. They were actually chuckling about nuking Johnny at 5 o'clock in the morning under a protocol that was going to kill him anyways. I mean, is that insane? I mean, 90% of all doctors on the planet will not use the same protocols to poison you to heal themselves. They won't put their children on these protocols. They'll talk to Peter and find out about the cannabis.
Peter, just so you know, you're absolutely correct because, you know, I've had a lot of friends in my life, you know, part of my friends, my family's friends. 95% of the people who went for the chemo, dead. Drained of their accounts and dead. Okay? And I don't know how the other 5% actually lived, which would be 4 out of 5 basically in this case. Through just an incredible, you know, what's the word I'm looking? An incredible, what's the word here? An immune system. That's the word I'm looking. They must have had an incredible immune system to sustain that kind of damage and still live.
I know two people that are dying of cancer right now, and they won't listen to me about the PACE. It's like they just turn a deaf ear. They're like they're programmed to believe the doctors.
That's
exactly.
the indoctrination.
They gave all their power over a bunch, and they're going to die for the lie. You know, the saddest part is when they steal children from the parents to cut out lungs and then irradiate the child. My friend over in California, who's now in Utah, they stole his child off the rooftop, had armed guards. They actually have security cameras in the fucking room, in the hospital room, so he can't talk to anybody and share this severe trauma that he's going through. His daughter has been cut stem to stern. I posted this link out to Valerie Corral with WHAM, Women Aligned with Medical Marijuana. I can't get her to get her head out of her ass about the PACE. She'd rather fucking sell the goddamn oil for $3,000 for 90 doses when she can make 32 jars of medicine, 90 doses for 32 people. It's a mathematical equation that works, and she's not quite getting it yet. She thinks you know what she told me? She goes, well, I'm not outfitted for doing that. I said, what? You don't have the cannabis PACE? You can't buy some fucking jars? Really? I mean, really? Are you that fucking stupid? I mean, these are people in our fucking realm, excuse my French, who are supposed to get it, who don't get it. The oil makers don't get it. I'm trying to change this planet for the better, and I can't get people to get off their happy ass to see the truth because it's really so stupid simple, and that's the problem. Because it's so simple, I put out a 30-minute video on how to make the PACE. Anybody can score a half an ounce of weed and make a 90-dose jar of medicine for themselves. I actually posted that video out a year and a half ago, and I keep posting it out weekly.
And I'm surprised they didn't take it down on YouTube, by the way.
Yeah, well, they're too busy with Dean Clifford. They pulled all his shit down.
Or Alex Jones or anybody else who's trying to bring down the system, because the reality is this whole system is a corrupt, vile, disgusting, venomous disgrace of what we have as a government and as a constitutional government. And unfortunately, we have a president that we all put in place who is trying to take down the system, but he's being swamped by the drain. Little reverse words there, but
yeah, well, that's what I tell people. The first thing they're supposed to do is unconsent from the voter rolls, because you signed on for benefits and privileges, and guess what? They can force you to comply in court with all their realms because you're a double-minded man. You didn't know who you were.
Well, I'll tell you, and a lot of people don't understand that the medical field they don't care about healing you. They're caring about making money. They run it like a business. And I'll give you a perfect example. There was a story on our news about a week ago about a woman that had to take her doctor from Detroit to Ann Arbor Medical Center. I think it was Ann Arbor or Michigan State. I can't remember which one. But there was nothing wrong with her daughter where she couldn't take an ambulance. It wasn't a life or death situation, but they airlifted the child in a helicopter, and she could have taken an ambulance from one hospital to the other. Because they airlifted her, her health insurance didn't cover it, and it cost them $18,000 for the bill, and they had to remortgage their house to pay it.
Jesus.
Yeah, ain't that some shit? What does it come down to, Peter? What does it come down to, Badbaby? It comes down to massive symptoms and rape the payer. Symptoms and rape the payer.
When I heard that story, it brought right to mind when the doctor stood at the end of my husband's bed and said, "We can't help you. You're full of cancer. And this is what he said. Now, my husband died 3 days after he said this. He said, "We can airlift you to Ann Arbor and pierce the tumor, and you might live 30 more days." What was he trying to do? He was trying to milk me for the money. My husband just looked at him and he said, I don't want to live like this for 30 more days. I want to go home. So then when he found out I was taking my husband home, this was on a Friday. My husband died Monday morning at 8:30 in the morning. He said, well, now he just got done telling my husband he was going to die. They couldn't help him. He said, well, if you want to bring him in Monday and I can do another chemo treatment on him, that would be fine.
Oh, yeah, so you can make another fucking $250,000 off the bullshit.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there thinking, why would I bring him in Monday and pump more of that shit in him that you people have been making him sick with when you're telling us it ain't going to cure him? And, you know, what was he doing? And my husband even told me on the way home. He said, didn't I tell you? Don't trust these doctors. They look at me like I look at a bumper. How much can I make off of this job?
Yeah, they're looking at a meat sack with money. That's what they're doing.
Exactly.
I mean, and you know, and the thing is, I had gotten all the bills and what the charges, copies of all that after my husband passed away, and this was back in 2003. And do you know how much off of? And I know it's increased now. It's a lot more than back then. But just one chemo treatment was $2,600. So he was just looking at my husband dying in that bed and telling him, well, come in Monday morning so I can make $2,600 off you before you croak on me.
Right. Empathy, sympathy, none, zero. It's all about the
dollar. And I thought, you know what, the doctor's office don't open till 9. Sorry, boys, he died at 8:30.
Unbelievable.
I wouldn't have took him anyways, but still, that was his suggestion.
This should prove to the rest of the planet that we're not blowing smoke up their ass. Me as an ex-Navy doc, I've been paying attention in class for a long time. You're just a freaking money mark. If you keep giving over to white coat medicine, they will steal, rape, and ravage every fucking penny you got until there's nothing left, and then they'll send you home to die, just like they did with my brother Greg's sister. And then I put her on a protocol that actually brought her back from the dead. But she was too stupid to figure it out because she went back to the same scumbags that sent her home to die and got a radiation check on her lung. We think we see a spot. They couldn't confirm it. They said, we think we see a spot.
We think.
We think.
Protocol.
Right.
There's new poison you can try out, and 8 weeks later she was fucking dead.
Well, you know, they lured her, and she, like a fish, bit, hook, line, and sinker.
Well, hold on now.
You know, and let me tell you another thing. At my husband's funeral, his boss's wife died of cancer. And he came to the funeral home, and I told him that they were trying to airlift my husband to the Ann Arbor, pierce the tumor, and let him live 30 more days. And he said, oh, my God, honey, I'm so glad he didn't do that. He said, because they did that with my wife. And he goes, it was the worst 30 days we ever lived. He said she had no idea who I was. She was in immense pain for that 30 days. All she did was scream and cry and sit up and didn't even know where she was. All they did was experiment on her. And you know, they kept her alive for 30 days, and they milked that insurance card some more.
Yeah, bait and switch.
Yep.
It's a bait and switch process that they use. They lure you in, they get you into their medical grips, and then they say, well, we think it's this, and we may be able to prolong your life. They never say we can absolutely cure you. They never say that. Because the moment any of these monsters say, we can save your life, well, then their whole practice is over, isn't it? Because the moment anybody finds out that their life can be actually reversed and saved by a so-called medical cure, then it's over. Then it's over. They're out of practice. It's over. Here, take this, take the baking soda with water. This cure your cancer. It's over. Here's a $1.50 box of baking soda. Treat that with water. Protocol 3 times a day for 6 months. Done. Finished. It's over. No, they can't make any money on that.
Ann Arbor Hospital is like 150 miles from here, and this poor man had to drive back and forth to check on his house, he didn't drive. You know, he would drive there, and he had to pay for a hotel room while he was there. He would drive there and get a hotel room for 4 days and stay with her, and then he'd drive home to check on his dogs and his house, and then he'd have to drive back. And he went through this for a month while he watched his wife lay there and didn't even know who she was and suffer for 30 days.
Yeah.
It's insane. Folks, this shit is insane. It's not supposed to be like this. There are simple alternative protocols that can fix everything, from food-grade hydrogen peroxide. I post the actual 1-minute cure. It's a book. It's a link. It's information on the dosing process. My wife had axillary fucking cancers under both armpits because she was doing that roll-on bullshit, and I got her well in 90 days. So, you know.
Now, okay, Peter, you're talking about the deodorant that they sell on the and I said something to the girls in the beauty salon. I said, you know why a lot of women are getting breast cancer? Because they're using the deodorant they sell in the store that's full of aluminum and toxins, and you're rolling it under your arm. It's going right into your lymph glands and right into your breast.
That's right.
Yep.
It's absolutely correct.
Goes into the lymph nodes. Yeah, it goes straight in the lymph nodes. I got my ex-wife to actually pay attention. The upside is my grandson never got the bullshit shots. He's not going to a public school system. He'll be homeschooled.
Thank God.
I got to commend my daughter on paying attention to what Daddy's saying on the planet.
Right.
Because my family is my closest vested interest, but most of them don't get it. That's why I had to leave 5 years ago, and I've been traveling across the planet doing what I do. I'm going to create the healing paste with the THC for the whole fucking planet when I go to Colorado. Anybody that wants it, they'll be able to get it. And Big Pharma can kiss my rosy red ass because I ain't one of their damn slaves.
I thought it was Rosie Brown ass.
That's another thing, too. It tells you how helpless and hopeless people feel. Because when I told the girls at the beauty salon to quit buying the deodorant on the shelf and putting it under their arms, they all looked at me like, well, I got to wear deodorant. What do we do? And I said, listen, there's a health food store right over here around the corner. They sell non-toxic deodorant for $2 more a bottle. I said, that's $1 a breast, ladies. Are your breasts worth $1 a piece?
Apparently they've never heard of magnesium chloride, which you can spray up underneath your armpits as a deodorant, but it goes straight into the axillary area. It uplifts straight into the lymph nodes and gets the body recorrected. I mean, 90% of the masses are magnesium deficient. If you take it orally, you ain't getting what you need. But if you spray it on underneath your armpits, behind your knees, on your feet, you will get the uptake of the magnesium chloride and restructure the endocrine system of the body to actually uptake dense nutrition again. But because they fucked the planet, excuse my French, I'm sorry, sweetie, I just can't help it. I'm a sailor. Anyway,
Peter,
go ahead.
I just want to throw this at you. And tell people never to have them take a biopsy of some sort of tumor. Because the moment they take that biopsy, because it's encapsulated in, a membrane, then the doctors go, well, we should take a biopsy of that. The moment they break that membrane of that tumor, it spreads through the lymphatic system, and that's one of the reasons, that lymphatic cancer spreads.
Yes.
Yeah. And, I used to hear that a lot when I was younger, that people would say, once they cut you open and the air hits it, that's when it spreads. Well, yeah, it's not when the air hits it, it's the cutting it open.
That's right. And people wonder why. I wonder why I have lymphatic cancer. I don't know why. They took a biopsy of this small little thing I had on my, around my neck or my shoulder, under my armpit.
I mean, here we go again. It's we're going to check, and then once we check, we got you going now. Now we got the cancer spread. Now we got you hooked. Now we're going to wheel you
right.
in for the treatment. And we're going to take that Blue Cross card, and we're just going to set it underneath you like a cow and start milking that baby.
Oh, yeah, they'll just light it on fire and suck everything out of there.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really funny, but it's just ridiculous. But
it's beyond ridiculous.
And here's another thing, before the cancer gets to that point, they got you going to the store and buying all this crap that causes the cancer.
Oh,
and this is what I was trying to tell the girls. I said, do you realize that Tampax, when you put those in your vaginal area, they're full of Roundup? And they were all looking at me like, you got to be kidding me. This guy got up out of the chair at the beauty salon and said, oh, yeah, right, like they're making Tampax with Roundup in it. I said, no, they're not putting the Roundup in it. I said, they're spraying the cotton with Roundup. The cotton that they're using for the Tampax already has the Roundup in it. So you're
absolutely right.
Poison in your vaginal area. Why do you think all these women are getting hysterectomies and having cancer of the uterus? That's why.
Exactly right. Good call. Good call.
And I said to him, I said, hey, listen, you don't have to listen to me. You can stand there and call me a dumb ASS all you want. Go do your own research and see if I'm a liar.
Well, if they go over to the Peter Eugene page, I post crap at the speed of light. I post truth at the speed of light. Copy and paste it and share it with your brothers and sisters. I post on the shot crap, the cannabis or the cancer crap and protocols they're using. I post on everything. So it's a really good page. So if anybody wants to friend me at Peter Eugene, Truther of the Planet, that's what will show up. You'll see my face. You'll see the medical modicum of all the different genes of the cannabis paste at the top of the page in a nice circle. It's time to change the planet. It's time to fix the machine. It's really simple. See, cannabis actually makes you conscious. It makes you think outside the box because it restructures the neuron pathways in the brain. And this is why they're scared shitless. And this is why they keep hacking my site. This is why they shut down my international cannabis patients wall. I had 12,500 people on that page, and they shut it down about 7 months ago because I was getting too much gravitational pull. And now it's getting worse. You've got the culling from the Scumbags or Us Club, but I'm just getting warmed up. They really don't know who I am. I'm on
Peter,
500
for people who
pages.
have had a stroke, would this help them to recover from a stroke?
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Yeah,
because
Peter,
it restructures the new neurons. Let me share with you. Okay, when the brain is in a lockdown mode, it's on a continuous cycle in the dead side of the brain, the left side, and they can't break free. But once you introduce the endocannabinoids via CBDs or THC paste, it doesn't matter. It's going to restructure the new neuron pathways in the brain and open up that third eye blind, that pineal gland that's been calcified for a long time. They become conscious, for lack of a better term.
Okay, Robert, you were going to say something?
Yeah, Peter, I tried to email you, but I don't think I got the right email for you. Baby, can you send me his email?
I can send you his email address. I'll get that over to you.
Please do, honey, because this is very important to me because my father had a stroke. You know that. And this has been 4 years going. And if I can help him in any way, I want to try in any manner.
I know. And that's why I mentioned it, because it just dawned on me that you would need to get a hold of Peter and get the medicine for him.
Absolutely. Peter, but my brother, I got to bless you because here we go once again. We have a small group of individuals, you, me, and Badbaby, talking about what reality is, and you have the 99% of the population who are still drinking Coca-Colas full of just so many chemicals, it's beyond belief. Not to mention the fact of the diet soda, which is, full of the aspartame, which is just destroying their systems, destroying their mind. They have no clue what they're doing to themselves. But the propaganda, the media, and the propagandists pushing all this garbage into the system, just having them accept it like it's okay, and everything that we're doing for you is for your benefit, and all the foods that we integrate into all the chemicals, it's okay because we know better than you do, because they look at us as infantile children, and we will take care of you from life till death. And from the beginning of life to death, they've manipulated the whole system. They've intoxicated our food with all kind of garbage, and then they cradle us to grave with their propaganda system of manipulation, with the doctoral system of stealing all your money, intoxicating you with more drugs, and then putting you in the grave as we finish robbing you. It's disgusting, and I am sick and tired of this system of manipulation. I'm sick and tired of these so-called eugenicists who think that they believe what they've created is, a better system of living, which is actually a better system of death, and just a quicker cradle to grave system. And I am tired of it, brother. I am tired of it.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. We're all in that club. And Peter, for those that came in late, why don't you repeat your email address again?
What's that?
There's people that came into the show late, so why don't you give out your email address one more time?
All right. It's IAMME, I am mother E, I am me, at openmailbox.org. Please leave a phone number. I'll be glad to call you back. I'm not afraid or shy to talk to anybody on the planet. And we can bust it down to the grassroots level to fix the issue.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, I thank you for bringing me on your show. Brother Peter has done 4 years of shows on CCN. In the spirit of things, I got wore out last summer, and I just decided to take a break for a year. It's been a year. And Mary Beth, Badbaby, you got me to come and play in this portal. And the whole point is nothing happens by accident.
That's true. That's very true. And I like I said, thank you so much for all the work that you do. And, keep up the good fight. Don't ever give up. Don't ever let anyone get you down. And, just get out there and do your thing without fear. Spread the love and spread the healing and, help those that are less fortunate.
Yep. Anyways, the whole point is I get to wreck their playhouse with them in it. They haven't quite got the memo yet, but they're going to get it very soon. That's the whole point.
Well, we're behind you 100%, Peter. I know you've done a lot of good things for people, and, and I do know that it's not about the money for you. I understand that totally.
It'll all work out in the end. We're just going to get in the right vibration and get in the hearts. It's all about the hearts.
Yeah, definitely, Peter. No question about it, brother. And you know what?
You have permission to contact me anytime. Send me an email, include your phone number, and I'll be glad to talk to you further.
And I'm going to do that right after the show, Peter.
Thank you very much. Anyways, Badbaby, I guess, go ahead.
Well, I'm going to close out for tonight, and I will be in touch with you, and I will send you a copy of the recording.
Thank you very much. I'll catch you on the rebound.
Okie dokie. And on that note, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the show. Cutie Patootie, would you shoot me a phone call after I get done here?
You bet, honey.
Okay. And next week, everybody, we just mentioned it about the aspartame. We will be having Dr. Betty Martini join us, and she's going to update us with what's going on with aspartame. So she's got a lot of good stories and good news that's coming up about it. And on that note, I want to thank you all for joining me.